Hi, this is Ms. Pellegrin, and today we're going to be looking at Module 2, Lesson Number 1. You are asked to work with your partner to use the graphic organizer below to record what you know about positive and negative numbers, add or remove statements during our whole class discussion. So if there's anything that you do not have, you need to add it, and if there is anything that you may have on the wrong side, you need to take it off. Okay, so negative numbers, they are to the left of 0. They get smaller the further they go to the left. They can mean a loss, drop, decrease, or below sea level. They are opposites of positive numbers, and some examples, -7 and -8. Positive numbers, they are to the right of 0, and they get bigger the further right that you go. They can mean a gain, increase, or above sea level. They are opposite of a negative numbers. Some examples, 7 and 8. Something that they have in common is that both are on the number line. Okay, if we continue on in our notes. In example number 2, it says counting up, starting at 0, corresponds to blank numbers. So if we're starting at 0 and we're counting up, so we're counting to the right, that is talking about your positive numbers. Counting down, starting at 0. So here we're starting at 0. We always start at 0. If we're going to the left, counting down, that is talking about your negative numbers. Where do you begin? When locating a number on the number line. So when you locate a number on your number line, you always start at 0. What do you call the distance between a number and 0 on the number line? So the distance we call the absolute value. So that's the distance between. What is the relationship between 7 and -7? So if we're looking at our number line, we would have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces to the right to get to +7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces to the left, to get to -7. So they are the same distance from 0. And we just said, what do you call distance between 0 and a number on the number line? So they are the same distance from 0. It's called absolute value. They have the same absolute value. Okay. Okay, in example 3, it says using the integer game and the number line, what is the sum of the card values shown? Use the counting method on the provided number line to justify your answer. Okay, so we have not talked about the integer game. We will talk about that later. And we will do an example of the integer game. But for right now, we want to know the sum of these, and we're saying that we're pretending these are cards. Okay, so our first card is 5, and we're always starting at 0. So if we're starting at 0, we want to count up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is for the first card. Card 1. Count up 5. Then our second card is going to be -5. So that means I'm going to the left 5. So I'm right here. I was at 5. Now I've got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is representing card 2. I had to count down 5. Okay, so now I'm back to 0. Then I'm taking the third card. So this is where I was at 0. I'm going down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not a very straight line. That's pretty terrible. Okay. But that is representing card 3. And we're counting down 4. And then card 4 is a +8, so we're going to count up 8 from the -4 we were just at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now I am at 4. So this is card 4. Count up 8. So what is the final position is I am at a +4. What card combination could we use in order to get back to 0? And so in order to go from here to 0, I could get a -4. That would bring me back to 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I could get like a -3 and not a comma, sorry, a -1. So if I got -3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, there are also other options, of course. Okay. Exercise number 2, use the number line to answer each of the following questions. How far is 7 and 0 from 0 and in which direction? So 7 is 7 units, and it's going to the right from 0. What is opposite of 7? And so if I'm going in the other direction, so from here we go 7 units to the right, or the opposite of that, go 7 units to the left, so -7. How far is 7? -7 from 0? It is, again, 7 units, but it's to the left. Okay, thinking back to our previous work, explain how you would use the counting method to represent the following. While playing the integer game, the first card selected is 7, the second is -7. So you would use the counting method to go right 7, then left 7, representing the negative, to get back to 0. What does this tell us about the sum of 7 and its opposite negative? So the sum meaning adding, so 7 plus a -7 gives me 0. Look at the curved arrows you drew for 7 and -7. What relationship exists? They are the same distance from 0. Do you think it's going to hold true for any? Yes. Because you go right the same number you'd go left to end up back at 0. Okay? Our last thing is that we are going to be playing the integer game. So go watch the next video on an example of how to play the integer game.